Welcome to the Fourth Step Podcast. On each episode, we interview recovering addicts and learn their story with addiction. Through exploring personal journeys, we get a glimpse of the depths addicts fall to and their path in recovery. We hope you enjoy the episode. All right, welcome everybody to the Fourth Step Podcast. My name's Kevin and I am an addict. And with us is our co-host,
Josh, addict.
Did I mention he was lovely?
He is.
I am. I'd fuck me.
Yeah. Oh shit. And today we have our dear friend.
My name's Jolene and I'm an addict.
Hi, Jolene.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
of course.
So a few things right off the bat. We're on location in Northern California at the TAC convention, TAC convention. It's actually a wonderful, small Northern California convention.
Does it still stand for tri-areas?
No,
Not anymore.
It changed.
These areas combined.
Areas.
Got it.
Yeah. It used to be 3 areas.
It changed.
Anyways.
It changed its pronouns.
Yes, it did. Very good, Josh. Yeah. So, I know you from some years back, and I was able to go out to your place in Arizona and record your husband.
Yep.
He who shall not be named. No, Joel. We did an episode with Joel.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to ask you to do this, but we've never had the opportunity. So
Right.
I'm really cool that we caught you while you were in California.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'd like to hear the story about Dick before we forget.
Well, yeah, don't forget.
Okay, I won't forget. I
But
can't forget that.
Yeah, we're going to start with like childhood.
Yeah, how much clean time do you have? What's your clean date?
3-5-12. So I'll have
12.
14 years in March.
Very nice.
March 5th.
Are you originally from Arizona?
I am not. I'm from Washington State.
Oh, yeah?
And we moved to Arizona 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
You said we?
Joel and I.
Yeah?
So you're both from Washington. Mm-hmm. What made you move to Arizona?
Joel's daughter lived there with her mom, and he reunited with her after like 7 years. And you can't really co-parent from 2,100 miles away. So packed up after 41 years in Washington and moved to Arizona.
It's a lot
Left everything
drier.
I knew. It is a lot drier. I realized I hated the rain once I moved.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know I hated the rain. I mean, I lived in Washington all my life. I didn't know
You
any
knew
different.
nothing else.
Wow.
I knew nothing else.
What a beautiful realization to be able to get there and be like, oh, I didn't know I hated that.
Yeah, and it's depressing and it's gray and it's,
Yeah.
I try to only go back in the summer if I can help it.
So
right.
you were like born and raised there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All your family's there?
Yes. Yeah.
What was your childhood like? Like your earliest memories? Do you have? I mean, I told you we talk about
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
trauma and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
like-
What was your childhood?
I'm the baby of 4. So, I mean, and there's a big age gap. My oldest brother's 14 years older, next one 12 years older, my sister almost 7 years older. So
So you are the baby.
I am the baby. I was not, I mean, I don't want to say I was the accident, but definitely I was the vacation accident.
Yeah.
My mom said, we're never going on vacation again unless you get snipped.
Okay.
It's, the same parents. My parents, were married. My mom was 16. My dad was 18, because
Started young.
My mom got pregnant with my brother. And in the 60s, that's what you did. You had to get married and they just stayed married.
So how old were they when they had you?
30. Yeah, my mom was 30. And so my dad would have been 32. Yeah.
Jen, my wife would say that's babies having babies.
Yeah.
16?
Yeah, my mom was 16 when she had my brother. Yeah.
Babies
Yeah,
having
so-
babies.
So what that did for me was, you know what I mean? Like my brothers, I hung out with them. I think I went to high school more than they did because back then they would take me with them to school and drop me off in the home ec room with their girlfriends.
You're kidding.
No, I was like the chick magnet, for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think my parents were just tired by the time I came along,
Did your brothers take care of you?
Yes.
And your sister?
Not my sister. My sister did not like me at all. She wanted me to go back where I came from.
Go.
Yeah.
If you think about childhood and then like the correlation or transition into active addiction or just kind of the lifestyle that we all end up here through, what kind of events excuse me, stand out that you can tie to, like, leading you in this direction or in the direction of recovery or using?
Like, was there ever any abuse,
No.
trauma?
Traumatic events, things that stand
There's
out?
a lot of, like, I mean, I never called it trauma. Like, I didn't know any better. I didn't know any different. My parents are not addicts, but my dad was never good with money, ever. So there were days where we would not have power. We would get evicted. I would come home from school and my shit would be on the lawn. The sheriff was there evicting. And so, and the thing is, nobody ever knew until it happened. It's not like we had a discussion like, hey, we're behind on the rent, this is going to happen. It just happened.
Was that an event that happened quite often?
Yes.
So there was some uncertainty?
Very much so. A lot of uncertainty, and you just never knew, and it's not like we weren't kumbaya, let's sit around and talk about our feelings. My dad worked a lot, and he worked out of town, so my mom... my mom was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't know how to use an alarm clock until I was in the 8th grade because she got me up every day, made my lunch, and tried to pretend like it was the most normal thing ever.
Did it look good on the outside?
It did. It did. And, it looked good on the outside. And, so we didn't talk about that, and us kids never knew that we didn't have anything or that we weren't, that my dad was pawning shit, to pay the bills or whatever. And my mom she didn't, I have a little bit of resentment toward her, that I've tried to work through that. She never, if you don't have power or a house for your family to live in, you should go get a job. That was never her. That never crossed her mind.
Yeah.
That she would need to do that or should do that.
It's just her mindset was stay-at-home mom.
Yep.
What did your dad do?
My dad was a driller. He owned his own drilling business.
Like water wells?
Well, in the end, it was water wells, but he did soil samples. So
Core drilling?
when they build the Kingdome in Seattle, he drilled the holes for that before they built it. And so, yeah, and he would do.
Yeah, this is weird. Did you ever find out did your dad have a spending problem?
Yeah, he just never budgeted money. I mean, he made a lot of money back then, you know what I mean? And yeah, just never planned for tomorrow, right? Spend it all right now.
So you didn't know any better, as a child, but later on, looking back, you're like, holy shit, that was...
Yeah.
What the fuck, Dad?
Yeah. And very much so.
Especially if he made so much money.
Yes.
You guys could have been living life.
Exactly. And we were living well when the money was there.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
And then, there would be times
Just a lot of inconsistency.
Yeah. I can remember, my mom's car getting repoed and my dad just, it was nothing. We'll just go down and pay for it now.
Yeah.
It was just... And now I know that that's not normal, right? My mom would leave my dad on a regular basis. We would I think probably one of my earliest memories is we didn't know they were fighting because they never fought in front of us.
You didn't hear him screaming and yelling in the back room? No, it was
never screaming and yelling, nothing like that. My dad would always be, like I said, working out of town, doing that kind of stuff. But all of a sudden I just remember, I have this vivid memory of my cousin and my mom, breaking in the door, trying to get in the door. And it was hurry up and get your stuff. Throw it in a garbage bag. Let's get out of here, and then just driving to my aunt's house. So that was a regular, I don't know, I would say every couple of years. My mom would, the money wasn't coming in. So my mom would be like, oh, we're leaving. But she wasn't willing to do anything about it. So we would go live with some family and then come back. We always came back.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's a head fuck.
Yeah.
For a kid.
Yeah. It was just, and we never talked about it. We just went,
Yeah.
And
was your mom and dad, did they talk about feelings or?
No.
Did your dad show emotion at all?
No, my dad never until, he got really soft probably in the last 10 years.
But not as
as a child. I never heard, I love you. You would say, I love you. And he would say, me too. He would never say I love you.
Yeah.
You know, you would try to like hug him and he'd be like, get off me, you know, kind of thing.
So, yeah, just
Never like,
clarification for you, and I'm sure you probably ended up finding out
right.
already, is that that's one of the most toxic forms of abuse,
Right.
period.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Is
just
that
think he
emotional
didn't know any
detachment,
better. Like his
non-nourishment?
mom was very much like that as well.
Yeah.
But I think that I can see how it goes way back into like his childhood.
Oh, yeah, it's
You know what I
generational
mean?
trauma.
Like he never really knew who his real dad was, but that was a secret. Like, so my grandpa adopted him when he was a year and a half. My grandpa was in the war. And so he was in World War II, and I have no idea how he got with my grandma. You know what I mean? But like, the story is that there was some sailor and my grandma got pregnant, and, you know, then they just pretended all those years that was his real dad.
Oh,
And he found out by accident, right? He found out by accident that wasn't his dad. And, but nobody ever talked about it. We don't talk about that. And my grandparents were Mormon in their later years. You know, they were
Yeah.
like, my grandpa was an elder in the church. My grandma did the genealogy classes, but she would at night drink 16-ounce warm Budweiser and smoke Camel non-filters into the fireplace when my grandpa was in bed.
wow.
Yeah.
We have
yeah.
a lot. We have a lot in common.
Yeah, and like, but we're gonna act like everything's fine, you know?
My dad worked out of town, moving houses, financial issues. Mom didn't work. Dad was adopted. All kind. There's a lot of
Similarities.
yeah, lots of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was just always like, my dad would always bring home like random people to work for him. Like one time, he brought home this fucking rodeo clown, this stinky rodeo clown.
Holy shit.
From somewhere in Southern Oregon. And so this guy, you know, my dad always wanted to give people a chance, right?
Yeah.
You need a job, I'll give you a job kind of thing. Yeah, and so we just had
Meanwhile,
this
you guys were getting
stinky,
evicted
yeah,
and
we had this stinky
lights
rodeo
rough?
clown living with us. It was always like my aunt's kids would come live with us. It was just bizarre. My drunk uncle would.
Was your dad? Did your dad use?
No, that's the thing. Like, I mean, he drank socially, but never like to excess or anything like that.
Never saw him drunk.
Oh, well, I probably have seen him drunk, but not like crazy drunk. He would
Yeah,
always
yeah.
like, my oldest brother doesn't have a spleen. So when he would drink, like he could drink one drink and just be
Plowed.
crazy drunk. And that would irritate my dad. My dad would like put him in check. My dad was more so,
Did he have his spleen removed, or he was born
he
without
had
one?
it removed. He fell out of a tree when he was a kid and ruptured it. So he had to get it
Brutal.
removed, you know? Yeah, it was just bizarre. Like, and it's always been,
Cheat code to getting drunk, though, huh?
yeah, that's the way it was. You know what I mean? And my brother has always used, my oldest brother has always used for as far back as I can remember.
Is he still around?
Yeah, yeah. And he's still loaded. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. He doesn't think he has a problem.
This is the brother without the spleen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
does he have a sensitivity to substances, period, or is it just alcohol?
I think it's just alcohol. I mean,
I don't know how the
he
spleen-
smokes
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
the
meth.
functionality.
I mean, he smokes a lot of meth, and I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I just thinking about what you're saying. It's like fucking grateful that you're in the program.
Yeah.
And you're the example. If he ever wanted to get clean,
And I always offer, I'm
He
like,
knows
you want to
where
go
to
to a
go.
meeting? He's like, fuck no, I don't need to go to a meeting.
all right,
Okay, well, you keep
I'll be here when you
living
do.
in your motorhome with your tarp on your tent and 14 lawnmowers with no lawn. It's cool.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
on. And he's in Washington?
Yeah, and like he will brag about that to me, right? Like, oh, I have like 12 weed eaters and I got this and I got that. And I'm like, you don't have a fucking lawn.
No, but come on, you gotta
Yeah.
go back when you're
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
getting loaded.
And I'm
like,
like,
that makes total sense.
He's like, no, but they all run.
Yeah, I'm balling.
I got him working.
I'm balling. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He's big dollar right
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah, I was like, wow, you know, but that's how that's his life, and I don't get to choose that for him. You know?
Yeah.
Where did the using start? Like, what led to getting loaded the first time? How old were you?
I was probably, let's see. Well, I think I was probably about 10 or 11, and it
That's
just
pretty
started.
young.
It just started with drinking, right? And I would, drink with my friends, and then my aunt, who's my mom's sister. we would go and drink wine coolers down at the rope swing, in this little
You and
town
your
that they're,
aunt?
yeah, and just get trashed. And I don't know, I must have just been her little bestie. You know what I mean? She had all boys. And so
girl,
I was a
yeah.
girl, and I would be over there in the summer in Spokane with her in the summer. And yeah, we would just
What was
drink.
your sister in all this?
My sister played softball.
Okay,
So
she wasn't available then.
no, and she wasn't the favorite, right? Like, so a lot of times, so as I got older, right, and my sister got older and got into softball, then it became like she was on like a tournament team, right? And so that was, my parents were very proud, and that made them look good, right? Made my parents look
on
good.
the outside,
On
yeah.
the outside, right? So my dad would spend a lot of money to travel to these tournaments when we weren't paying our bills at home, right? And so, and I wasn't an athlete, and I didn't do those things,
Yeah.
So I would go with my aunt, and my sister, very much so had an attitude of, I'm better than, that's how it came off to the rest of the family.
Right.
And I think it caused a lot of resentments with a lot of people in the family, like the people who worked for my dad, like my cousins and stuff. They wouldn't get paid, but they would be off traveling to all these tournaments.
Right.
So,
let me ask you, when you look back, the whole childhood for you, your dad was emotionally unavailable, your mom was emotionally unavailable.
Yes.
Was your aunt emotionally available?
she was absolutely, yeah.
So
she was
that's cool.
always my constant,
Yeah.
right? She was, they always had the same house. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was always the same, and I knew what I could
And she
expect
cared
from her.
about you and showed you.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I've learned through my own work and through a lot of the podcast episodes is that if the parents are not emotionally there to be nourishing, everybody, bless you, Josh.
Yeah. I'm
you.
sorry.
Yeah. You got a frog in your throat?
I did, yeah.
Oh. Do you want some water?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. If your parents are emotionally unavailable and you don't get nourishment from them, you seek the next circle in your
Yeah.
family. And that was me with my grandfather
Right.
or my grandparents.
I did it with my grandparents too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so common for us.
Yeah, and when I stopped going over there as much, like, because my aunt drank, and my mom was like, "Oh, I don't want you there. She's an alcoholic." Blah blah blah. Then I would. So I had my first nephew when I was 6. So my brother, because he's so much older, right? He had his
Yeah.
son, and he got married to his wife, and so that's my brother who uses. So when I was 6, there came a new baby, right? And so we would just take care of him. And so then I became a caretaker for him. And then I would go to my brother's house and watch the kids. And they lived very much so a party life. My brother would either be out of town with my dad, and his wife used. And I thought that was so cool to be in that lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? So then I would go there to their house and just stay at their house and just, watch them, smoke crack and do what they did and go run amok. And I would just be there to take care of the kids.
Huh.
So then it very much so was like a caretaker role.
For quite
But
a few
I
years.
thought it looked so cool. Yeah.
When did you start smoking crack?
Oh, I didn't smoke crack with
That's
them.
what they were doing.
They were doing it. And I was just like, oh, it's so cool, this party lifestyle. You know what I mean? Not like what I had at home.
Right.
What did
You
it
know.
transition into for you?
Well, it really just started with drinking and, you know what I mean? Smoking weed. In like, I don't know, 7th and 8th grade, I was pretty much smoking weed every day. And
So is that when your addiction started?
I would think, yeah.
Was there a conscious like this, I like getting high, like I want to get loaded, or were you still kind of doing it because everybody was doing it and you were just trying to have fun?
I was just doing it to like get through the day, right? Like my best friend and I, we would she would smoke weed at her house and I would smoke weed at my house. And then we would, go to school, make it through a few periods and be, not want to be at school anymore. So we just walk home. And my mom was like, oh, okay. My mom was very much so like,
You really
whatever
didn't
you
give a shit, huh?
No. And she would yell at me or whatever, but and I started smoking cigarettes that's probably where it started, to be completely honest. Like I started smoking cigarettes, I didn't just, oh my God, I'm going to try a cig. I was like pack a day from day one.
No shit.
Whoa.
And my dad did not like me to go buy them out of the machine at Elmer's. So he would buy my cigarettes. I was 11.
11.
Yes,
your
and my mom
parents
was
are
like,
buying
if you're going to
smokes.
smoke, you're going to smoke in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to sneak around. So my mom would, my dad would buy my mom a carton of cigarettes and me a carton of cigarettes. And I would just, you know what I mean?
At 11.
Yeah.
So you're already drinking and smoking.
Yeah. Yeah.
My lungs hurt just thinking about that.
Yeah. Literally, I was pack a day smoker from day one until for 25 years. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And it was just normal. Like, nobody said
You
anything.
if you didn't know any better,
Yeah.
it's normal life.
Yeah. Now I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I would never, do that.
I couldn't imagine, like,
Yeah, just, here you go.
I mean, I smoked cigarettes, probably around the same age.
Yeah.
But I wasn't getting cartons of smokes and walking around.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was just a normal
Get my
thing.
ass beat.
Yeah. Just
That's
be.
I remember getting a pack of cigarettes and being like, "Holy shit, dude,
balling.
I fucking
Yeah.
done it, dude. I have arrived.
Yeah.
I have arrived." It was like that was the cool thing, I think there was a guy whose mom worked at a grocery store when we were kids, and she would go to work in the morning, he would go with her, and before he would get on the bus, he would steal a carton of cigarettes, get on the bus, and everyone would be buying packs of cigarettes from him, and I'd always be trying to save up.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
like 8th grade, freshman year, something like that, and trying to figure out how to get, $5 so I could get a pack of cigarettes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was normal, So
Yeah.
I just drank and smoked weed, and then I was probably 14. Like, weed wasn't doing it for me anymore, and so I decided I was going to a party. My mom did not want me to go to a party. I went to a party, did cocaine for the first time, did a bunch of
How old
lines.
were you?
14.
14?
That's
14,
typically the progression with cocaine. I did cocaine for the first time, did a bunch of cocaine for the first time.
Yeah, like we did a whole bunch of lines in the car outside of 7-Eleven. We walked into 7-Eleven. I got a Slurpee, like a green Slurpee, and I puked all over 7-Eleven from the drains. But then I was like,
Nice.
yeah, this is my thing.
We need to go do more lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go home for 3 days. Like, I went to this
Yes.
party. I went to this party, and like, we didn't have cell phones back then. You know what I mean? So my
Right.
mom didn't know where I was. And then, by the 3rd day, I was ready to go home. So I just, walked up to the payphone and called her and said, hey, come get me. Like,
Everything's normal.
everything's normal. Just
Yeah,
come
and you're
get me.
14?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
do you remember, like, even smoking pot, do you remember that feeling where it took away your feelings?
Right.
This changes the way I feel. I want to stay this way.
Yeah, it was the checkout, for very much so. It's always been the checkout. Like, I don't have to live in reality.
Do you remember that first started? Was it pot?
No, I bet it was cigarettes. You
Oh,
know what
no
I mean?
shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, just like,
The head rush?
this is just my thing.
Yeah.
It's one little thing I think I can control, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I attribute it to now, right? So this is something, I have it, it's mine. It's my thing. And that has transitioned, over the years to, like, sometimes wasn't even about, getting high. It was just about, this is my thing, it's my little secret. It's only mine. I can control it,
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So at 14, you're doing coke.
Yep. And I got a boyfriend who was a senior. And then I decided, he's going to stay the night, Like, literally, I think my parents just didn't know what the fuck to do with me, really. You know what I mean?
That's very common.
I still remember, like, I think I was probably 8th grade, and my mom had left my dad again. So my mom left, but I was going to stay there and stay in school. My girlfriend and I snuck out, and I don't know, we ended up drinking, and we were with some boys. I don't even know who they were, but we decided we were going to egg some cars, and we were driving, egged a car, happened to be a woman sheriff. Not a good idea.
Whoops.
So we tried to, like, ditch them, and so anyway, because we were probably 12, the cops brought us home, and I had to go upstairs and wake up my dad, and I was like, Dad, and he said, you snuck out, didn't you? And I said, yeah, and there's a Snohomish County sheriff downstairs, he wants to talk to you.
That's probably traumatic for your dad.
Yeah, I mean, so the next day when I got up, the phone book was open to Catholic schools.
Ooh.
I was like, we're not even fucking Catholic.
Scared straight?
I was like, you're not, no. I was like, I'm not going anywhere, you know? And he was, okay. You know, it's just, he would just throw his hands up, you know?
Yeah. Defeated.
Yeah, he's like, what, you know, whatever's going to happen, you know?
What did the cocaine progress into, and at what rate?
It progressed into more cocaine.
Yeah.
More cocaine, more drinking.
How long did the cocaine and drinking phase last?
Oh, God.
I mean, was that your drug of choice?
At that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I really liked. Let's see, I was with that boyfriend, I don't know, probably 3 years maybe. So
That's
that
a long
whole time
for that age.
Yeah, because I mean, but that's what I knew, right? Like you get with somebody and they love you and that's just it. It doesn't matter, you know.
Right.
You just give up everything in your
Yeah,
life for
you had those role models
yeah,
as your parents.
very much so. Yeah. And then I finally decided we were going to break up, and what did that? So I was still doing coke off and on, not like on, you know what I mean? It wasn't a daily thing for me, you know. Drinking was definitely every weekend. Like I would be able to go to a party, stay out all night, and still like come home in the morning, get ready, and go to school. I didn't do regular school because my freshman year I was like, this isn't for me. I can't sit in a classroom and listen to people.
Yeah.
So I failed freshman year. So I got into a program called like contracted learning individual pacing. So they would just give me I finished my freshman year in like 2 weeks. They just give you the packet and you just do it.
Really?
Yeah, it was so easy for me because I just wanted to go to work, right? So I worked since I was 14 though. You know what I mean? I got a job and I worked and, you know, because if my dad wasn't going to give me the money, I needed to be able to, yeah.
So you were motivated?
Yeah, and I don't know where that went, you know, after years, you know, because it eventually got to a point where I wasn't motivated, but.
Well, drugs will do that too.
Yeah, they definitely did that. But yeah, and then I was 17, still in high school.
No longer dating the same guy?
Not dating him, but kind of got back together with him, got pregnant. And I was
At 17?
Yes. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to be with this guy. So we weren't together, but I was pregnant. Like my family was happy. It was like the most normal thing in the world.
Well, your mom got pregnant at 16. Mm-hmm. So it was
it was like, meh.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
I got pregnant
following mom's footsteps.
Yeah.
While I was pregnant, I started dating this other guy that my sister-in-law actually introduced me to. He was 23 and I was 17. He had just come home from prison. Yes.
Oh, what a good introduction.
Yes, he just got home from prison and he was so cute. He was in prison for stabbing a guy, but it was he said it was a miscommunication. He didn't really stab the guy.
I mean, I buy that.
Yeah, I mean,
sounds plausible.
Yeah, I was like, sure, this is so hot.
I think that happened to me.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't really, I just stuck him a little. Okay, yeah.
The whole thing was a misunderstanding.
It was. Yeah, so, and so when I was with him, I found out like I had placenta previa, right? So, while I was pregnant, right?
You'll have to let us know what that is.
So placenta previa is like the placenta blocks the opening.
Really?
And some people can, it can get better and they can progress with their pregnancy. But at like 5.5 months, I went into labor. And so I had to have that baby,
Holy
right?
cow, 5.5 months?
I went, and they can't save a 22-weeker, you know what I mean?
Aww.
At that age. But I remember going to the ER, and they were, because I was a single mom, and it was, back then, they were like, there's nothing we can do. You're gonna miscarry. Like, they literally put me on the floor, gave me a fucking morphine pump, and let me just, like, wait until the morning to deliver this kid. And that fucking morphine pump, I'm telling you.
That hit.
Boom,
Life
boom.
changing.
Yeah. But I didn't stick with that. But that was like, I remember that feeling, right?
Yeah.
Like, bam, nothing is wrong in the world.
Yeah,
Dude,
morphine
all right,
will do
let
that.
me
That
just
and Dilaudid.
close my fucking
Dilaudid,
eyes.
I when I was getting loaded, I had my jaw broken, and I
Yeah.
didn't know it was broken, but it hurt really bad. So cocaine fixes a lot
Yeah.
of things. So for like 3 days, I just shoved cocaine in my mouth,
Yeah.
and I was good.
Yeah, numbed it
But
up.
eventually, I went to the hospital and had it wired shut and everything, and I had to go back because the pain was so bad. And the first time I ever remember experiencing morphine, they shot it in my ass. And,
Really?
And my dad had taken me to the hospital.
Right.
For some reason.
They didn't do an IV?
No, they shot me in the ass. But I remember looking at my dad when we were walking to the car afterwards, and looking over the top of the car, going, "Dad," and he looks at me. My dad's hard ass. He fucking just doesn't put up with shit.
Right.
I go, "Dad, I feel really good,"
Yeah.
and I understood. This is like at the end of my using. I understood why everybody was doing heroin
Yeah.
because of that hit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. The warmth.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like,
I'm not trying to romanticize.
right,
about
but
that,
all is good in the world.
it made sense.
Yeah. All is good in the world.
Morphine's got a special. It's got a special little.
Place in your heart.
Well, that and it's got a special. It's different than heroin. There's a different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean it's not like it's two different, completely different worlds, but it's like there's a difference where it's like morphine's like warm, fuzzy drip from the head to the toes.
Yeah.
Heroin's kind of like almost like for me it's kind of dark. Like you're like like it has a little bit. It feels a little bit
I never
different to
did
me.
heroin.
I didn't do heroin either. I
Yeah.
never got that far, but
It's like it feels like dirt. It feels like dirty morphine to me.
Oh,
yeah,
basically.
like morphine was
glad I
very,
did.
But
like,
it's good though. Still great.
Yeah.
Not romanticizing.
No.
Sorry. off on a
No,
tangent.
no, you're good. So
Everybody's
yeah,
like,
so
opiates.
I did deliver that baby, right? And he was like a whole formed, baby. They
Or
put
was
a
a
little
miscarriage?
Yeah, they put a little hat on him, and yeah, like he was.
Oh, that's demented.
Yeah, so like, and they were like, "Oh,
So
do you
they
want to
put a
hold
hat
him?"
on him?
Yeah, they like
But
'cause he
it
was a whole little
wasn't alive.
baby. He was not alive, but you know what I mean. They put a little blanket on him, and they were like, "You should hold him," and I was like, "Fuck no, I don't want to hold him." And
I don't understand why they
my
would
mom-
want you to hold it.
That seems creepy.
yeah, like they were like, "You need to," But for me, how I deal with things is like, okay, check, this is done.
Yeah,
we're done
yeah.
with this. And
Detach, right?
Yes, I remember in the hospital, Christmas, it was right. I mean, we had already had Christmas, and I'd gotten like the bassinet for Christmas and all this stuff,
Oh,
and it was
shit.
set up in the living room at my parents' house. And so my dad said to my brother Jeff, which is like my middle brother, because he lived at home too. He said, "Go home and take all that stuff down, get it out of there." Right. So basically, we're just going to pretend this didn't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So from the hospital, I went home. I slept on the couch. Nobody talked about it. We didn't discuss it. And then again, we had no power in the house. Like the power got shut off. We were in the middle of being evicted, but we hadn't been evicted yet. And I remember vividly, we were all sleeping in the living room because it was cold, right? So like you have no power, so you have no washer, no dryer. We had like a camp stove set up in the kitchen, like this is fucking normal, And I remember we were all sleeping in the living room, and in walked the landlord. They just walked in. And it was so fucking embarrassing. I just pretended like I was asleep the whole time, right? But I had to go back to school, and I didn't have any clean clothes. I had to wear my brother's fucking underwear and my brother's jeans and go back to school because I had to finish school.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, and it was like it never happened. We never talked about it.
So there's a whole series of trauma events that you didn't know was trauma.
No, it was just, this is just how it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at that point, my sister wasn't talking what led up to that miscarriage, and this led to another resentment for me. So my sister had married a guy that my dad didn't like, and they were fighting and all this stuff. And there had been this whole thing where I bought a car, right? I bought this Volkswagen Bug. It was so cool, right? I paid like $125 for it. So cool.
What year?
I think it was like, I want to say it was like 73.
I had a 71.
Yeah, and you didn't have to push the clutch in. If you got going fast enough, you could just shift without the clutch. It was like a race bug. And so my brother had helped me get it. It was somebody he knew. And I bought it. But my sister and her husband at the time, like they wanted that car. So they were like, we'll sell your car for you. And we're going to give you this car, this Toyota Celica, right? And I was like, okay. But so as I'm...
There's the manipulation.
Right?
Yeah.
And her husband was very scary. He was crazy, like crazy guy. So they do that whole swapping thing with me, like take advantage and take the car. And so there was a whole to-do with it. And my dad was fighting with them. And they wanted... Then for some reason, I didn't have insurance on the car. And they were like, oh, if you don't have insurance, we're coming to take that car back. Because I wasn't 18 yet. So... they kept trying to come and take the car, right? And there was a whole situation where, like, my brother-in-law was coming over to kick my dad's ass, and my dad is in the house with a shotgun out the window, and he was like, you know what I mean? So the cops got called, and my dad was like, just get out of here. So it was super stressful. At this point, I was supposed to be on bed rest. That was before the whole miscarriage,
Holy
right?
shit.
I was supposed to be on bed rest, and so we had to leave. And so when I ended up losing the baby, I definitely blamed my sister, right? Like if you guys wouldn't have pulled that and done all that stuff,
Stress or
I
whatever.
wouldn't have been stressed. I wouldn't have had to, get up and leave the house and that kind of stuff. And so I tried to file a restraining order, on my brother-in-law because he was fucking crazy. And the sheriff, when they served him, were like, please be careful. When we served him, he ripped his shirt off and came at us. We're quite worried for you. And when we went to court, I couldn't do it because it was my sister, and I couldn't, you know what I mean?
Even though she fucked you over.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it. And my dad was so pissed at me. And I was like, I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, stuck in the middle of a fucking jumble.
Yeah.
That was a fucking mess.
Yeah. It was.
Kevin often brings up getting loaded saved his life, and without having any not knowing any different and having nowhere to turn and no coping mechanisms or support and constant chaos all around you, getting loaded might have saved you.
Yeah, so I wasn't getting loaded at that point other than drinking, which is, you know what I mean? We all know that's still getting loaded.
Yeah.
But I tried to just be as normal as possible, right?
So you were clean through all of that? Other than drinking?
Other than drinking, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So were you clean during the pregnancy?
I was.
No drinking, nothing?
No drinking.
Wow.
No, because that was,
Yeah.
that's what I was supposed
So
to do,
there's,
right?
there's that little light of morality.
Yeah. Very much
that's
so,
kinda
yeah.
cool.
And so I didn't...
we wouldn't judge you either way.
Yeah, no, but I just didn't. I didn't,
Yeah.
And then I was pregnant again, and I have a daughter, but I did not use it during that pregnancy either. Maybe in the beginning when I didn't know I was pregnant,
Yeah.
but not intentionally.
No intention.
Not intentionally. And so after that happened, we lost the house. My mom left and went to Spokane because her dad was sick or whatever. My dad and my brother moved into a fucking motel or whatever they did. And I had nowhere to go. So I had to move in with this new boyfriend, right?
Oh.
So I moved in with him and just pretended like we were,
Happy family.
Playing house, right? Like life is normal. I graduated high school. I didn't do any of the things that you do, you know what I mean? I didn't go to prom. I didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I completed early, and I did go back to walk across, you know what I mean, to wear the cap and gown. My mom came home for that to see me graduate, and then went back to Spokane.
Oh, shit.
And then, very quickly after that, it was less than a year, and I was pregnant again. And I can say that was probably on purpose. Not intentionally thinking, but just not taking the birth control pills, right?
Yeah.
My daughter's dad was not thrilled that I was pregnant. My dad was not thrilled that I was pregnant, but I was thrilled. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because I just wanted to be a mom.
Right.
Right. And that
And
would
you
make
missed an opportunity, right?
still not doing drugs.
correct.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I probably did acid a couple of times, and you know what I mean? Maybe snorted cocaine a couple of times.
You weren't
You know
getting
what I mean?
loaded every day?
Not every day. No, not every day.
And you were how old?
At that point, God, I had my kid when I was 19, so I was 18. Yeah. Yeah. So it was sporadically, you know what I mean? Using, and I mean, I was still using cocaine though. You know what I mean? Just not every day.
Yeah.
As much as I could get it, right? But not at work, and I was, functioning very well.
So, yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, so semi-responsible,
Semi. Yeah.
but still an addict.
So
still an addict.
What was the condition that you said you had that caused the miscarriage the first?
Placenta previa.
Is that something that's unique to you as an individual, or is it unique to a specific pregnancy?
No, I mean, it could happen to anybody. It just,
Yeah,
Depends
sometimes
on-
it happens when you get pregnant.
yeah.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not like something that you will have a reoccurring problem with. Got it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, and like some people make it through just
Yeah.
fine. I just didn't happen to be one of those people. And like looking back now, you know what I mean? I see that it was probably for the best. You know what I mean? In the moment, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I just kind of.
Yeah, fuck. Imagine having a kid through all that. Mm-hmm. Fuck.
That's exactly right. And
Yeah.
so yeah, my daughter was born. Still wasn't like, I wasn't using, you know what I mean? My life, I pretended it was normal. Looking back now, I realized that her dad was using the whole time, and I didn't know because I was pretty naive to like that part of the lifestyle, I guess.
Really? Yeah.
And so I remember my kid she was probably a year. It was probably right after her first birthday. My sister had come over, and she brought some crank.
Oops.
Oops. And
There it is.
But you're, I mean, she was one that tormented you,
yes.
but you still,
Yeah, so we reconciled, right? She left her husband, and
Oh, okay.
her daughter was 2 at the time. My daughter was 1. You know, we all reconciled like it was a kumbaya.
yeah.
It's a party now.
Yeah, and so my sister, she brought some crank over, and I remember doing it and being like, oh, man, I like this, right? I like this.
Yeah.
I like this. And I specifically remember my daughter's dad, he saved his. And I was like, why the fuck would
That's
you do
weird.
that? He saved his. I didn't know. You know what I mean? I didn't know. So then, a few more times after that, I can vividly remember, like, we would either do some crank or some coke. And, like, I would know that the coke was somewhere in the house, and I would search all day. He would be at work, and I would be like, it's here somewhere. Like, I need it, right?
So the fiends showed up.
Yes. Crazy. I remember fucking ripping the house apart, and I never found it.
It was in his pocket at work.
No, it was in his arm. Because that's where I figured out, like,
He
when
was-
he
he was
saved
saving
it,
it. Yeah,
he
he
was
was just
saving
shooting
it to shoot it
Yeah.
because he didn't want me to know.
Yeah.
So that went on, and then, after that, it was like we moved to Everett. We were using all the time, and I still didn't know that he was shooting dope, right? Like, I'm like, everybody just snorts it, right? And I didn't like to smoke it. I would do it occasionally, but I didn't like to do that. And then all of a sudden, all these random people are fucking living in my house, right? Like, it's a straight-on trap house, and I don't know this, right?
That's the culture, right?
Right? We have this, like,
With crank.
we had this huge kitchen. We had a fucking pool table in our kitchen. There was a rollaway toolbox in our kitchen. And I would find what I now know are needle caps. I thought they were wire nuts. And I would, like, line them up on the toolbox for him. But I would just line them up, and I had no clue. I had no clue until I found a rig one day. And I was like, are you shooting dope? And he was like, yeah. And that's the way you should do it. But people like you make it seem like it's a bad thing. And
Holy
so I was
cow.
like, oh,
It's your fault that I was hiding it.
Yeah, let me just accept that, he shoots dope. I never did shoot dope, thank God. But he did. And that was just, and we would fight and I would leave him and go back and he would be coming down and he would be fucking crazy and wouldn't let me leave the house. And I would wait till he finally fell asleep. And then I remember one day, like I didn't have shoes on, my kid didn't have shoes. I swooped her up, ran down to the corner store, hid in the store, called my brother. My brother came and got me. And 2 days later I was back at his house.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And my mom and dad be like, oh, you got to quit. You got to stop the drugs. And I'm like, it's not the drugs. I just love him so much. And that continued on, you know what I mean? And then, I found, the dope man who I could page him 600 times. And my daughter's dad was like, oh, I decided I didn't want to be with him. So I moved on to somebody else.
Took your daughter and moved on?
Right. And just crazy shit would happen, but it seemed so normal.
Did he have any interest in being a dad?
He would say he had interest in being a dad, but
really it was inconvenient.
If I wasn't a part of the picture.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, so I moved in with, my brother eventually had another daughter with this woman, so I moved in with her, and my daughter and I lived there, and I continued to use, and then I found crack. Her and I would smoke crack, and I was like, this is the shit. And then...
Wow.
It was just bizarre, you know what I mean? And just dragging my kid through this. But at that point, my daughter's dad was still, trying to be with me. And I would come home and I knew without a doubt. I was like,
when you say come home, you come home to your...
To where I lived with my pretty much like my sister-in-law.
It's crazy to think about. Your story really makes me think over and over again of like, the view that somebody has in their life, like their experience, how it so easily can mold a person because like all you see is this. Mm-hmm. And so it's just, this is just how life is.
Yeah.
Like you don't know any different.
Just like you didn't know that you hated rain.
Yeah. Like I just, you just don't know.
That's it. Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
And I was never, and I think it carried on throughout my childhood. Like you were never able to say like, oh, you know what I mean? This is horrible. My feelings are hurt. It was like, shut up, quit your crying. I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah,
I heard that.
That's just not part of. That's just not part of life.
I remember so I had super curly hair as a kid, and my mom would have to brush your hair had to look good. You had to look perfect when you leave the house.
Yeah, outside.
And so I would cry when she would brush my hair, and she would bat me on the head with this wooden brush. Like, shut up, sit still. And that was just normal. Like, we still joke about it. Like, my mom did that to all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not supposed to hit your kid in the head with a brush, right? Because they're crying because you're ripping.
Spoon,
No. Wooden spoon.
That's not normal?
Spatulas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no.
All household items that are mobile.
That says wooden spoon survivor.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
I got hit with the cordless phone a lot.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not like,
yeah.
You know what I mean. But they never thought of it as abuse. It was just you should have
know
not
it
had
was
a fit.
abuse.
You should have just sat there.
It's your fault.
Yeah, it's your fault. Just be quiet
for being a kid.
Yeah, and if you would say like you were scared of something, or you would be like, knock it off, knock it off. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. And now I look back and I'm like, why couldn't you just like give me a hug and be like, oh,
nurturing.
I knew you were scared. I know you're scared. It's going to be okay.
Generations of only knowing this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you look back now and you realize that your aunt was your nourisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she still is to this day. Her and my mom lived together, and so she still very much so is like,
That's interesting that you could put aside the alcoholism and just see her for what she gave you.
Yeah.
My stepbrother was the oldest of 4 boys. Mm-hmm. He never lived with us. He was that much older.
Right.
But when he was around, he would protect me, but he was one of us.
Right.
And he drank a lot. But I always looked past that because he didn't let my brothers beat me.
Yeah.
When he was around.
Yeah.
So even him getting loaded, shit,
It was
I don't
fine.
care.
I don't care.
Yeah,
She
you
was having a
nourished-
good time.
You gave me that protection.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, she
With your
very
aunt.
much so was. Yeah.
You smoked crack.
I did smoke crack. I smoked a lot of crack. I thought I was going to be a
I smoked a lot of crack.
I thought I was going to be a crank dealer. So somehow I ended up buying a whole bunch of crank. But when I would try to sell it, I would just use more than, than I sold. And then I would end up in debt to somebody. So I would, you know what I mean?
Do the hustle.
Yeah. And it was just, an ongoing thing. But my daughter's dad was fucking crazy. So at one point I thought I was going crazy because I was like, listen, I just bought all these new underwear and stole a few pairs too from the store. And now they're all gone. I'm like, I've been up too many days, right? Like my underwear are missing. So I had filed a restraining order on my daughter's dad, and we went to court. And
This is the second time you were in
yeah,
court with a restraining order?
we went to court. He ended up with like supervised visits of my daughter. And when I got back to my car that day, all my fucking underwear and my clothes that he had stolen from my house were sitting on the front seat of my car. So I knew, you know what I mean? So he was that kind of crazy. Like he would sit outside and I would see him. Eventually he decided he was going to leave the state and move to Arizona, right? Because since he couldn't be with me, he didn't really want to be with my daughter.
Be a dad.
He didn't want to do anything with her if he couldn't be with me. And
Inconvenience.
he left the state and went to Arizona, and I called his fucking PO. And I was like, look, he left the state, and I knew he had a gun, and they picked him up at his grandparents' house in Arizona, and he ended up going back to do the rest of his sentence in Kansas.
Wow.
I'm not sure if he knew it was me that did that. He did write me from prison and act like, oh my God, we're going to get back together, And I was like, no, we're not. And as soon as I said that, we were not getting back together. That was it. He no more letters, no more nothing, So it was pretty traumatic, for my daughter. She was 3 at the time, so she didn't really know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then I just never heard from him again,
So that's it. Did your daughter growing up ever get back in contact with him?
When she was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I had always asked her always throughout the years, like, if you want to know him, I can find him, this kind of stuff. And she said, listen, if he doesn't come looking for me, I'm not going to go looking for him. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally in her senior year in high school, she decided, she wanted to. So I contacted him, and they started texting, and my daughter and I got together and we got all her pictures throughout the years and we sent them to him. And, but then again,
That's pretty cool.
He thought he was going to be with me because it was right after I had left my ex-husband. And, I entertained the idea because it felt good. It was safe, right? He was far away. For somebody to like you and to want to be with you, because my ex-husband very much so did not want to be with me.
At the time, did you forget about all the chaos and talks?
No, I didn't forget.
Were you still using?
No, I was clean at that point.
How did you get clean? Where did that happen?
Let's see. So
how old were you and how did it happen?
I got clean from Frank because I did that for like 3 years and it was a crazy situation. But my sister, she sent me to live with like her best friend, right? So I could get off dope.
But she's the one that brought Trink over.
Yes, because she didn't have a problem.
You have a problem.
Yeah, because I had a problem. I was running amok. And so she sent me to live with her best friend. But her best friend was able to write a check to the dope man, and we were doing crank. Her best friend and I were, where I was supposed to be safe. Well, I ended up, I dropped her off at work. My sister's best friend had dropped her off at work, and I had her kids and my kid. And I was supposed to come back and get her. Well, I was so fucking spun that I ended up, I stole gas from somewhere because I remember pumping gas. I didn't pay for it. I didn't have any fucking money. I had food stamps, so I went into the deli and got food for the kids. But I ended up like driving on and off the freeway for probably like 2 fucking hours.
Fuck yeah.
Just same exit, circle.
Yeah.
Like literally 2 hours. And I was like, this is fucking crazy. So,
It's so funny that your sister.
But it felt right when you were doing it.
but then I just drove to the hospital. And I walk in there with these 3 fucking kids. And I go, listen, call my fucking sister and check me in.
I'm so high, I don't know how I got here.
Call my sister to come get these fucking kids and check me in. So my sister has to come there. They did a UA, and they were like, she has a ridiculous amount of methamphetamine in her system. Because I never ended up picking up the chick from work, you know. So they all came together, and my sister's best friend is like, I just don't understand. My sister's like, I don't understand how you got the drugs. I wasn't going to tell that her best friend was doing it with me. So at that point, they were like, yeah, your sister probably needs to go to treatment. And my sister said, okay. So my sister took me back to her house. And the next day, she put me on a fucking plane to my parents' house. She said, if you don't get on this fucking plane, I'm going to take your kid. And I was like, all right. I didn't have my own fucking underwear on. I didn't have any clothes.
Again, with the underwear.
Yeah, it's an underwear thing for me, right?
Yeah,
like
sounds like it.
I didn't.
That's
have,
how you
I didn't
remember
have
major
anything.
events. What underwear was I wearing?
Exactly.
Did I have underwear?
Did I have underwear? Were they mine? Were they my underwear? That was the part. Were they my underwear? So, like, she put me on this plane. I go to my parents' house, and all I wanted was a fucking cigarette. My sister wouldn't buy me cigarettes. I was so pissed. I remember getting off the plane, my dad picking me up, and I was like, there's my kid. That's all you fucking want anyway. There she is, right? Like, and I went to their house and I slept for 2 weeks straight. And, like, I was normal. I got up, I got a job, you know, after 2 weeks, got a job, enrolled in school. But the boyfriend from back home was going to come. Right?
Your daughter's.
Not her dad.
Oh,
it was
the other one.
The next one, right? There's always one.
The next one.
The next one. And he was still using. And he moved to Spokane. And I rented this trailer in a trailer park. But when he first got there, we stayed in a motel. And he had brought some crack for me, right? And so I used, you know what I mean? I think I would use intermittently. But it was more so the lifestyle after that, right? Like
with your daughter.
With my daughter and this boyfriend who, you know, he didn't work. You know, we had to figure out how we were getting dope because he couldn't be, you know, sick. So I would go to work. I would steal from work. And we would go at night to all these businesses and steal receipts, you know, get the receipts out of the trash can. It was a whole thing. And I can't remember if I was loaded or not. Right? Because sometimes I think maybe I wasn't loaded. And I was just doing these things with him, just to be with him.
Yeah.
And then...
love is a bitch.
Yeah, it really is. And then he lost his mind one day, and I was like, I'm fucking out of here. I'm out of here. I moved back to my aunt's house, right? My safe place.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's always another one. Right? There's always another one. My cousin introduced me to some guy. We were on a run. We were spun. I went to like house sit somewhere, actually in Southwest Washington, where we're from. I went to house sit with him for these people. And we were just on one the whole time. Just fucking on one. He's like, I got this guy I want you to meet. He's a really great guy. His name is Dick.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, it is.
What's his last name?
Ryder, Dick Ryder.
What an interesting choice of name for parents to pick.
Yeah, so I all spun out. He's like, I want you to meet him.
Richard Ryder.
Yep, that's his name, Richard Ryder. Yeah.
Dick Ryder.
So is he still around?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He was the type of person who was like used occasionally. You know what I mean? Like he could have a bottle of Percocet in his lunchbox and like take one and not take any for a month, 2 months. I was like, I don't know how you're doing that. But I was supposed to meet him and we were going to go on a date, but I was so spun. I think I was in the shower for like 3 fucking hours shaving my legs. And so I never ended up meeting him at that point. And then just randomly,
Sounds so familiar.
randomly, I was like, I was going to fly back down to see my cousin. And I said, if this guy wants to meet me, he better be at the airport to pick me up. So I flew there like a mail order bride because I was 23 and he was 37,
Yikes.
Yeah, he was 37 and he had his shit together, right? He owned a house, he had a truck, he had a boat, he was a union electrician. Like, this is somebody who's going to be able to take care of me and my kid.
Yeah, sugar daddy.
Except he wasn't a sugar daddy because he liked his money more than me. So I flew down and we started dating, and then boom, I just decided, yep, we're just going to pack up and move. I'm going to move in with him. My parents were like, that's so great because he's got all the things, right? He's going to take care of you.
Outside looked good.
Yeah, he's going to take care of you. And, I continued to like use a little bit, but then it was just more drinking, right? Like fucking
because it was more socially acceptable with him at least,
disgusting
right?
drinking. Yes. And the occasional Coke bender, little, you know what I mean? But it was like occasionally, not like on a regular
Somewhat
basis.
functional.
Yeah. And
I found it so funny and interesting that back a bit, your sister was, disgusted with you because you couldn't use meth responsibly.
yeah.
You've got a problem. You can't.
Yeah, because she could
has
dabble.
anybody ever used meth
She thinks she has.
responsibly?
She
People
still
didn't want
thinks
to.
she
People
has.
didn't want to use with me, dude. Towards the end,
Well, you are unresponsible.
yeah, like 100%. Yeah, I'm a liability. People would like, I would have a hard time finding people to use with.
Yeah.
Like it would, I would find people that would be like, and we would go on like a run for a little while, and then eventually they'd be like, "Nope, it's too much."
Yeah.
So I'd bounce from like people to people to people. You have to find really crazy people to use with when you're nuts,
Yeah.
Well, I would think,
Yeah.
you're nuts. Like, when people don't want to use with you, you got a problem, right? You have a problem. You have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I didn't. I did that until God. I mean, it was just off and on, and probably I don't know. I was probably with my ex-husband for probably 2 years, and we got engaged. But I knew at year 2 that this wasn't where I should be.
Is this the path that led you to getting clean?
Yeah, eventually, because then I.
So this is Richard. You married Richard.
I did marry Richard. So.
And you were 23, 24, 25?
Yeah, I think I married him when I was 27.
Okay.
I think I was 27 when I married him. And one day, I went to the dentist. And the dentist was, the next town over, right? So I went to Oregon to this dentist because he was a great dentist, I had heard. And I got prescribed some Percocet, right?
Pills enters.
Yes.
Enters
and
the
so
equation.
I would get a tooth pulled, and that would get me about 6 months worth of pills because I didn't want to fuck the dentist, right? He was an old creepy guy, and I could have fucked him and he would have continued to write scripts for me. But like I would literally tell him this one's not working or I need more. He would put a script under the back doormat for me so I could run over and pick it up. And like every time it was like Xanax, Percocet, and antibiotics, right? Like always. And I know he knew, right? So that went on for a few years, right? Like I probably was able to get scripts from him for probably a year, at least a year, maybe more.
And then you started doctor shopping.
Yep. All the way across the fucking state, right? Like so many doctors. Like I would go to every fucking ER. Like my ex-husband would be working out of town, right? He'd be working like in Eastern Washington. I would plan out my route, right? And I would tell my daughter, if you just sit here and be quiet, I'll buy you a comic book, right? And we would go and she would never say a word. She would sit in the ER with me. And I would all the way across the fucking state. And one day I was working at this place, right? Because I got fired from my job. But my ex-husband was, oblivious. right? Like he claims he didn't know that I had this problem. And we're talking probably, I don't know, I would probably eat about 30 pills a day. I never snorted them. I never shot them. I would just eat them, right? Just handfuls. And I went on my lunch break because I was going to go legitimately pick up a prescription from this new doctor. I got there and the cops were there. And they didn't technically arrest me, but I did have to go down to the police station and get fingerprinted. And they questioned me. And the doc was like, because they thought I was part of this big pill ring, right? They thought I was like selling them. And I'm like, listen, I'm not fucking selling anything. I'm eating all these. And the guy's like, I'm this big. And if I take one of those, it tips me over. And you're telling me, I'm like, listen, it's called tolerance. Like, I'm literally eating them. I'm not selling them to anybody.
You got a problem.
So I was like, okay, well, if we're done here, can I just go back to work? And I just went back to work and acted like nothing happened, And then I was able to find them on the streets, right? Because I couldn't, no more doctors. The jig was up for that. So I was buying them from my ex-husband's sister. And he didn't know, but she was getting them from her mom, so it was a whole twisted thing. And so what led me to get clean really was, there was always the conversation, right? Do you think you have a problem? No. Do you think you need to go to treatment? No, I can do this on my own, right? One day I came and I would literally unplug the phone so the bill collectors wouldn't call, unplug it so the phone just wouldn't ring, and he never knew. I would get the mail. I would hide the mail. At one point I had a fucking trash bag full of mail.
You're kidding.
And I just wouldn't open the bills, right? Our house got foreclosed on. They put a note on the door. And because I just wouldn't pay the house payment, I would just spend the money, right? I would forge his checks.
Oh, shit.
And
Oh, shit. Sorry, guys.
my big thing was that I would write a check, go to the gas station and cash it.
Yeah.
And then have the cash, go get what I needed. And then before Friday, I would know that I needed to put the money back in the credit union so he wouldn't know. So I'd write another check.
Oh, yeah.
Go cash it and go take the money to the credit union and put it in there so the balance would be the same when he got there, right? And it was like a weekly thing, just spun in that, cycle. But one day apparently I never thought of getting rid of the pill bottles. So I had a huge Rubbermaid tote that was full to the brim with pill bottles.
Empty pill bottles?
Empty pill bottles. And he opened that tote. So we were fighting along for about 5 years. I would sleep in the spare room for half the time and sleep with him half the time, right? We were fighting, not getting along. But when he opened that tote, he lost it. He was like, I can't believe,
shit.
He's like, I cannot believe you're doing this. I'm like, how did you not fucking know? How did you not know?
Well, yeah, at that point, it's his fault.
Yeah, I was like, how did you not know? And I was like, fine, I'll go to treat. He's like, you need to go to inpatient treatment. They need to fucking lock you up. And I go, okay, fine, I'll have an assessment, I'll have an assessment. And I scheduled the assessment and didn't go. Told them we rescheduled. They had to reschedule. So I went to the assessment and I had to tell the truth when I was there,
Did you have to, or you felt compelled to? It was
I felt like
effort?
And they were like, you don't need inpatient, right? You need outpatient because you need to have structure in your life, blah, 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 right? And
They said that?
Yeah, and I was still using. I was high that day. So I signed up for outpatient treatment and I would go loaded. And they never fucking UA'd me. They didn't. And then one day the counselor said, Jolene, this would be a lot easier if you would quit using. And I was like, what? You
thought they didn't know?
Yeah, because they never UA'd me.
They knew the whole time.
I would go to meetings. I would have to go to meetings and get my slip signed too.
Signed?
Yeah. And so she suggested that I see a doctor because there's this new thing out, right? got on Suboxone, and I was on Suboxone for probably a year.
Did you taper off?
I did.
Good job.
Back then, it wasn't strips; it was pills.
Yeah.
Because it was in 09.
Right up your alley.
Yeah, it was in 09, and I literally did. I did it exactly as prescribed, all the way down to like the quarter of a tablet, and quit. The whole time I was going to meetings. My sponsor knew.
And this is 2012.
No, in 2009 is when I got on Suboxone.
Okay.
And so my original clean date is 10/8/9. I did the Suboxone. At one point, the only bad thing I did with it once was my now ex-husband decided he wanted to try it. And I was like, sure, go ahead.
Suboxone?
Yeah. So I gave it to him, but he was drinking at the time.
Oh.
Oof.
And then he didn't feel anything, so he wanted another one. And I was like, sure. And then I was driving. We were actually headed to go hunting. And I was driving the truck, and I look over, and he is fucking doing the fish in the passenger seat. And I was like, oh, fuck, I've killed him.
Seizures?
Yeah. So I had to pull the truck over, jumped on top of him, like beating the shit out of him. And he came back too. Like, he's fine now. But, he's fine now.
Seizures, he's fine.
He's fine. Like, but that was so scary. So I was like, it's your fault. You shouldn't have drank. I told you not to drink with it. They say you're not supposed to drink with it, And he wouldn't go to the doctor.
What were you guys going hunting for?
Deer. Yeah. I used to be that girl, and I would deer hunt and fish and do all the, redneck Southwest Washington kind of things.
You're in the truck beating on him.
Mm-hmm. And he came to, and he was fine. And again, just like nothing happened. We just drove to the hotel where we were staying, and, he never tried it again.
When
it scared
you
him.
tapered off of Suboxone, was that the end?
Yeah, that
And
was
you stayed
the end.
clean since?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I never used again. Like, once I got on the Suboxone, I never used again. I never drank. My ex-husband would be like, do you really think you're never going to be able to have a beer? And I said, I don't know if I'm never going to be able to have a beer. But I was already in Narcotics Anonymous, right? Still going to meetings. I started working steps. I started doing what we do, even on Suboxone. And so when I weaned off, I kept my original clean date, right?
Yeah.
Because my sponsor knew and all of that. But years later, I had about 8 fake years, 8 years clean. And shit got crazy in my life. And I didn't, something was wrong, and I didn't know what it was, right? And it always came up, right? It would come up like, because the old timers are like, you're not fucking clean. And so I just didn't talk about it because I didn't want to hear it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, shit would go crazy. And I was actually at a meeting. I think I had 8 years at the time. And I was at a meeting, and I was like doing all the things, right? I'm doing H&I, I'm going into Perryville. I'm doing all of these things. I'm working steps. I got sponsees. I'm, service at my home group. And I just didn't feel right? Like I would be like crazy. And it was my home group. It's a ticket meeting, and so my ticket got called. And the topic was like, what are you doing, or how are you doing your recovery? And I said, I must not be doing it right. Because like something is wrong. I'm doing all the things you're telling me to do, but something is wrong. And I was actually going to go over a second step with my new sponsor the next day. And when I left that meeting, everybody was like, oh, I'll pray for you. I'm like, yeah, fucking pray for me, whatever, because I'm not religious. So I have a higher power, but I don't know what it is kind of thing. And Joel's sponsor, who's like spiritual fucking guru, he was like, what's going on with you? And I said, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. And he said, you should camp on it. And I was like, what does that even mean, right? I have total cotton mouth, by the way.
Camp?
Mm-hmm. He said, you should camp on that. I was like, okay. So the next...
Wait, what does camp mean? Like
he was
meditate
just like,
or pray or
yeah, like something like that, yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, so the next morning I woke up, and I have never been more sure of anything in my life other than the day I married my husband, my current husband. But like, I was like, I need to change my clean date. I got up, I called Joel. I said, listen, I know what's wrong with me. I need to change my clean date. He's like, what the fuck happened between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m.? I was just there, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, and I know without a doubt I need to change it to 3/5/12. Okay, so my original clean date, 10/8/9. New clean date, 3/5/12. And he's like, you only did Suboxone for a year. Like what? I said, but what I know is, even after I stopped doing Suboxone, I was still living dirty, just like I was using, right? I was like buying half-price food stamps, chasing chicks around town because they ripped me off for the food stamps, still like going to the dope house, giving people rides, doing all the things,
You
still
haven't left
forging.
the lifestyle behind.
No, it's still forging checks, you know, my ex-husband's, doing all the dirty shit, but no reason for it, basically, right? Because I'm not on Suboxone, I'm not using, I'm just a shitty person. It was really, you know. So I said, you know, from 3/5/12, I know without a doubt that I have been in recovery. I have not been doing dirty behaviors, right?
Yeah,
and if
yeah.
I'm gonna, and the whole reason I never changed my clean date before that was ego, right? And so if I'm gonna change my clean date, I want to be a woman of integrity and know without a doubt that I was in recovery from this date. So I knocked off a significant amount of clean time.
That's a very kind of cool, interesting perspective.
Yeah. I was like, I want to be a woman of integrity, and this is who I want to be. And without a doubt, like I have been actively working a program in recovery, not doing illegal shit other than speeding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not doing any of those behaviors from this day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a good time to take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Good.
And
Yeah.
then we'll just pick it up from your 4-step.
Perfect.
Cool. All right. So now we're
Reservations?
you're clean.
Mm-hmm.
We've already talked about the abuse growing up or the trauma.
Right.
And we already talked about your first time loaded, and we're at clean. Looking back, did you have like guilt and shame as you were growing up, or because you thought it was so normal? Was it just everyday life?
I think it was embarrassing. Yeah. It was, you know, like I didn't want people to
Find out?
know.
Like once you got clean and you saw things to compare it to, or just in general, like you knew like...
Just I guess in general, like I would go to my friend's house and they had the same house forever, right? Like their parents paid the bills and they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't really explain it away, you know, like why you live in a motel, you know?
Right.
And like looking back now, I never had friendships. Like that was my only friend, my friend Summer, who I'm still friends with today since like the 5th grade. But before that, like I never had friendships with anybody because we were always moving. There was always a different school. So I never, you know what I mean? I just
You
kind
didn't
of
want anybody
introverted.
to see the inside.
No. Yeah.
Pretty amazing
Yeah.
you have a friend from that young that you were able to maintain a relationship with the whole time.
Yeah. And I mean, she
Did you
knows
stay?
my family.
Did you stay connected with her throughout the whole journey?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
did she get loaded with you?
She did.
Okay.
She did, but then she got her shit together way before I did.
Grew out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
she's
pretty
not
cool.
one of us then.
No, I don't think. I mean, her husband definitely is. You know, I used to use with
Just
him
throw him
too.
under the bus.
Yeah, you know, but yeah.
Well, that's
not-
cool.
Yeah, she is. She's not. She's somewhat normal.
So that leads us to reservations. Like when you first got clean or right before you got clean, were you thinking, you know, if this ever happens, or do you remember back to a reservation?
Yeah, when you first got here, was there anything that you thought would take you back out?
Absolutely. You know, if anything happened to my kid, and in the beginning, it was if anything happened to my parents. That reservation went away when Joel's mom got sick. Like when my husband Joel, when we started dating in August, and his mom got diagnosed with cancer in October. And I'm the type of like I could have just like cut and run, not, you know, but that's not who I am. And she got diagnosed in October, died in January. And
Shit.
I watched him walk through that, you know, with grace and be able to like just hold her hand.
And you were clean how long before this?
Well, technically, I was clean.
This is while you're right after Suboxone?
Yeah. So when Joel and I got together, I technically had 3 years clean, you know. So yeah, I'd been clean, you know, a little while. You know, if we go with the new clean date, I was technically a newcomer when Joel and I started dating, but
So you had just got off the Suboxone when you met him or started dating him?
no, I was off for quite a while. Like, so I met Joel in 2012.
Okay.
And originally I was off of Suboxone in 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, the behaviors. That's what you're talking. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's a couple of years after you actually got clean.
Yeah,
but
so I just sat on that, right?
Yeah.
Like if anything happened to my kid,
the kid.
I would never be able to, you know what I mean? I would have to at least drink, right?
It's funny how they just kind of those things kind of just fade away when you start doing work.
Well, the exposure to other people.
And I see people walk through that, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's the one thing that I believed in was the people in the rooms, right?
Yeah.
Because growing up, it was never, what people said was never true, right? Like, we're going to do this and we would never do this. Or, you know, but when I came to Narcotics Anonymous, like, people meant what they said. And I saw it. So I just believed that.
You were fortunate that you were seeing people that actually walk their talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were introduced not only to staying clean, but to like morality and a decent moral compass and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
So no reservations that carried on to today. No current reservations.
None.
I mean, you kind of have to like drop your reservation. I mean, I'm just speaking for myself.
Right.
But after so many years of doing steps, it's like, and listening to people get through all the shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you would kind of, I mean, I would think there would be an issue if you still had some reservations.
Well, I agree. I think we've had a couple people that still have reservations, though.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. And it wasn't, you know what? I remember like 2 people that said, I have a reservation, not that I'm going to get loaded, but that I'll act out on certain behaviors, you know, like if this happens, I'm definitely going to be violent or.
I got that.
Yeah.
I still have that.
Yeah.
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 So I guess it all depends on what you're considering the perspective of a reservation.
Yeah. No, and I don't, I just don't live there anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
That's cool. So the reservation is kind of, you know, like done at this point.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So what resentments did you carry for a very long time?
Resentment against my sister.
Yeah.
That was probably just until last year.
So you overcame that one?
Yes, I was able to. So my sponsor now, she, you know, when you go over the reservations, then you have to pray for that person for 30 days.
Oh, my God.
And you have to pray that that person gets what you want.
My sponsor did that to me.
So I was like, I fucking gotta pray for this bitch. You know what I mean? Yeah, and like it's finally, you know, it finally went away. And I think the part of it is because I could kind of look at it from her point of view, and I don't think she really wanted to do that, right? I think she needed to do what her husband wanted her to do.
Yeah.
You know, because he was very abusive toward her as well.
That's what it sounded like when you tell me the story. In my head, I'm thinking.
I could never put that together.
He's the manipulator.
You know what I mean? In the beginning. But yeah, I think that's definitely what it is. So I definitely, I carried a resentment against her, and I carried a resentment against my mom for never getting a fucking job, right? For like us suffering and her just sitting with it. You know, I've let that go because she just is who she is. Like, she didn't know any better, you know?
Who were her role models? Exactly.
She didn't know any better. And so, yeah, I've been able to let that go. And now I don't.
Everybody did the best they could do at the time.
Exactly, with what they knew. And I watch it, and I've been able to watch it generationally. You know what I mean? And the best part is that I get to watch all these generations, and now I get to see them, see it be broken.
Change it, yeah.
I get to see it be broken because I have a niece who's in recovery who she'll she'll have 3 years in May. And way back, when she was still struggling, Joel and I took her kid.
This
for 10 months.
This is your sister, the sister that you had the resentment against?
Her daughter?
Yes.
Well, her daughter is now clean as well too.
Right. So,
but it's a different niece, So I have 2 nieces that are in recovery now, and
that's
they
cool.
get that from watching, right? They
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that they found recovery.
Yes.
the sister that you had the resentment against, is it the one that originally got you loaded, sent you to her friend's house, got you into
that's
treatment?
my only sister. I have 1 sister and 2
Okay.
brothers. Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
did you maintain from the time you got put in treatment or you went to treatment, and then the time you were able to last year let go of the resentment, did you have a working relationship with her throughout that time? And just there was in the back of your head there was
Yep.
just this thing like
Yep.
fuck you. Got
Yep.
it. Okay.
And that that's kind of how my family works, right? Like, we're going to sit down at the table with you, and then as soon as you get up from the table, we're going to talk shit about you with all the other family members. And then when you come back and sit down, we're going to smile at you like everything's fine. Yeah,
God, what a loving, caring, nurturing family.
I know.
Dude, I mean,
Yeah.
so many of us grow up
And
that
that's,
way.
really my relationship with my mom, how that resentment finally went away is I stopped engaging, right? Like my mom's very much
Set a boundary.
She's a shit talker, right? Like, she will sit down with you and talk about so-and-so, and then, you got to wonder if so that was what all our conversations were. It's talking about other people, right? So I finally stopped doing that. And so when she starts to talk about other people, I say, Mom, they're just in a different spot, right? That's just how they are, and we're just going to love them right where they're at. And she, so that has changed, right? And she doesn't shit talk as much with me.
That's
now.
good.
Yeah.
That's good boundary. So do you remember the point of the resentment? Like, for instance, your sister or your mom, do you remember the point where it changed from resentment to understanding and compassion?
Has it changed to that?
It has. It has.
Like, was there an aha moment, or was it just
I don't
gradual?
know. I think it just gradually happened, right? And I was just able to let it go, because really what it was doing was hurting me. That's the part, is it was hurting me, because they didn't fucking know. They didn't know I had a resentment against them, and it wasn't affecting them in any way.
Yeah.
But it was eating me. And so when I was able to finally just be like, okay, it just is what it is, and that's just what they knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I had a moment like that with my brothers, that I understood, and my parents. Like, I understood at a certain time in my recovery doing the work, the hard work.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, they didn't have none of us had good role models, and I can't really put the fault on them.
Yeah.
Because
if you don't know.
Yeah. They were saying, this is how we're supposed to act.
Right. I did get to watch in the end, like, my dad softened up, right? And started to be financially responsible, right? And then he was able to help, he helped pay for my daughter's wedding, and he's helped all the grandkids, right? Like, I was talking about how I think everybody got a different version of him, right? When we were growing up, all of us kids got a different version. The grandkids get a different version. Like, they got a softer side of him. The great-grandkids got a softer side of him. And in the end, he did tell me he loved me, right? Like, I got to be there and hold his hand in the end, and have some just really real conversations. And over the last few years, he's definitely softened up and talked about feelings and talked about things, and talked about gratitude and appreciation. And
do you feel that you walking your walk or
helps with that?
Yeah, like you
for
set
sure.
a good example.
Yeah, and he adored Joel. And it, for people who know Joel, he's like Mr. fucking positivity.
Literally.
Yeah, literally he is.
Wrote a book.
Yeah, and that was, and and my dad, like, I think he took some things from that too, you know, and, you know, he always said he wished he did better. And I said, you did the best you could with what you had, right?
Yeah. You didn't know any better.
My dad very much so thought that, you know, my addiction and my oldest brother's addiction is his fault. I said, you didn't do that, right? Like, you didn't make us pick up,
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, so like any resentment that I might have had against my dad, and I didn't really, you know, was gone when he started like doing the things, you know? So
Yeah.
that was a big part of it.
Resentments against like any of the exes? Is that all like
No,
washed
like,
away?
Yeah, like, you know,
Did you have them when you first got clean?
Probably when I first got clean, I had some resentments against my ex-husband. But the reality is like, he wasn't a good husband for me and I wasn't a good wife for him, right?
That's a great perspective.
I never should have got married to him. You know, that was just, I did what I thought I was supposed to do.
I can relate to that.
Yeah,
sentiment.
and like I did some shitty stuff to him. And, you know, I mean, granted, you know, the things I did, I don't believe were like, gave him permission to put his hands on me, but like, that's what he knew too, right? That's the only way he knew to express his anger. Yeah, and I did some shitty stuff and he did some shitty stuff. And
You didn't talk about that. So you were in a violent relationship?
yeah, he was, you know, the things I did caused a reaction in him, you know, and I thought that was normal too, right? In the times when it would happen, like the phone bill was high and I probably wasn't even like using at that point, but I would call home, right? And back then you had to pay roaming charges
no
and shit on your cell phone. And I remember like he wanted my cell phone. He chased me down and like tackled me and like was on top of me and got the phone from me and then just busted it into pieces. But then right after that, we laughed at, he's like, oh, you're pretty strong, you know? Like it was just a normal thing.
Yeah.
You know, and he, you know, he'd be pissed because once again, I would forge his checks and take his money and he would find out and, you know.
Chaos is normal.
Foreclose the house.
Yeah, you know.
So resentments.
Any
You don't-
resentments towards yourself?
No, I don't really think so.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, like, you know, like I've forgiven myself for the things that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've done. And, you know, I've definitely worked through a lot of shit. You know what I mean? A lot of shit with my daughter. You know, some things happened to her that I didn't know had happened to her.
There's a little bit of guilt and shame right there.
Yeah, there definitely was. And the part of that is I was actually, my daughter was a total shit. So she moved to Arizona with us, or with me. And, you know, she was just nasty to me. And we would be sitting at dinner and she'd just talk shitty to me and just be mean and nasty. And I would be like, fuck, I don't know what you want from me, right? Like I've apologized. And I had a sponsor in Arizona and she said to me, Jolene, have you apologized to her? And I said, yeah. And she said, no, but I mean is have you actually sat down across from her and told her that you're sorry for the things that happened to her? You're sorry, you know, you weren't there to protect her and, you know, you didn't show up like you should have. And I was like, fuck, no. I guess I haven't. And so I got that opportunity to do that with my daughter. And, you know, I got to tell her that I'm sorry, you know what I mean, that I wasn't there to protect her and stuff. And that's when she shared with me some things that had happened to her that I didn't know because it was a safe space for her at that point, right? Because I was like, you know what I mean? I don't live the same anymore. I give her the money when she wants it. I do the things, but it wasn't about that, right? It was about like sitting down and connecting with her and being like, I'm so sorry that I wasn't there for you.
Right.
I wasn't a mom when I should have been a mom.
The exact nature of your wrongs.
Exactly. And since then, like, she's not a little dick to me anymore. You know what I mean? And she loves me and she calls me she calls me every day. She, you know, let me be a part of her wedding and, you know, we did all of that. And Kevin, you took the pictures for her and like, yeah, and now she's like wants us to be a part of her life. and she's going to have a baby pretty soon.
They're wonderful people.
Yeah, they're just the sweetest. They're
I fell in love with them.
equally geeky,
Yeah.
We're just super blessed that, she found somebody who could love her for her, and we love him. Joel just said the other day, we really won the lottery with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we did, And, but yeah, that the guilt and shame for that was huge.
Well, that's good that you were
Yeah.
able to close the loop on that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And
So-
again, it breaks the generational thing,
Yeah. So resentments are done.
Done.
Cool. Fears. Tell us about one of your biggest fears in early recovery.
My biggest fear in early recovery was not being able to do it. You know what I mean? Like, what if I accidentally use? You know what I mean? I think that was the biggest part. It's like when I first got clean, I didn't get clean because I wanted to get clean. Like, I didn't want to be clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did it for my ex-husband, right?
I didn't want to either.
I didn't want to be clean. Like, I was comfortable doing that. And then when I figured out I did it, I think it would be like the disappointing people. That's my fear.
Fear of failure?
Yes.
Does that fit? Fear of failure?
Very much so fits. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a common theme we've found throughout a
Yeah.
bunch of this is
Yeah.
that very first fear of failure.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to fuck this up.
Yeah, somehow.
I'm not good enough.
Yep.
The whole self-talk.
I'm never going to be good enough, not going to be worthy to, to be with these people or to do these things. Like,
Did you hear that growing up? Like, you're no good, you're not good enough.
you're not good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nobody ever actually said that, like
That was
directly, but that
Yeah.
was the insinuation,
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like, I can remember, like, even as an adult, like, trying, like, oh, I'm going to apply for this job. And my dad would be like, don't do that. Just stay where you're at, right? Like, you're not good enough. Why would you try to do something different? Just stick with what you got, kind of thing, And I've learned over the years that, you know what I mean, I am good enough, and I can do different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're always trying different shit now.
My wife was the first person in my life that ever said, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in you. I'm like, but I'm a piece of shit. I'm the problem.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be able to do anything. The low self-esteem and so forth.
Very much. Yes. Yeah.
So is that any of that fear still carry through today?
I still do. I still do have fears of not being able to do it or not being good enough.
Yeah.
Joel's always like, you're smart, you're capable, like, you can do this, you got this. And I always, the first thought still is always to second guess.
Is there any specific situations that you're struggling with in regards to fear currently?
It would be, that I'm not going to be able to do the things I'm doing. So I was able to, so my husband owns a private practice. And so
What kind of private practice?
he's a therapist. So he does like counseling, consulting, coaching. And I was able to quit my job, my corporate job, in June and go to work strictly for
That company?
that company. Yes.
What's the
And
name of the company?
it's Whiteside Healing and Wellness.
In Phoenix, Arizona?
Yep, in Phoenix, Arizona. And we're always looking for like new business ventures, right?
Cool.
But so yeah, I'm always afraid I'm not gonna, and I think the part of it is I'm not gonna do it to his standards, right?
Oh,
Because
really?
Joel and I live on two different wavelengths, basically, right? Like Joel's very much so structured, perfectionist, and that's just how he does it. And he I've had to have that conversation that I don't work at the same pace as you, right? Like it might take me all day, but I'll get it done, right? So I still second guess that. Am I going to be good enough? Is it going to be to his standards? And so I work on that a lot.
It's a big commitment to not only leave your job, but also to work with your partner.
Yeah.
Like it's not an easy
Yeah.
it's not an easy thing.
No, it's not.
There's a lot of extra emotions to juggle.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have a fear of judgment.
Yes. Because that's what I know. I still,
Yeah.
you know what I
Because you
mean?
grew up being judged.
Yeah.
Dude, I so relate.
And still,
relate.
they're still judging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that that's ever going to completely go away.
Yeah. What's the imposter syndrome? That's one of my biggest fears. Like I know technically that I'm pretty good at what I do.
Right.
Pretty good. That's my self-judgment.
Yeah.
You know, I have to rely on what other people tell me because I can't really rely on myself
Yes.
talk.
Yes.
Right. I'm working on that
Yeah.
currently.
I think it's always going to be like, I feel like I'm always working on that.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
a tough one for so
Yeah.
many of us.
Yeah.
Especially because of what happened to us during a lifetime.
Yeah.
It was just proof over
Yeah.
and over and
See?
over again that
Yeah.
we're pieces of shit.
I'm a failure.
Yeah. Never going to be
I'm
good.
really good at fucking things up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll find a way to fuck this up.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. Yeah. You know, and that I think that becomes your safety net. You know?
Just because that's what we know
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know anything different. Like success scares the shit out of me
Yeah.
because then there's going to be expectations on me.
Exactly.
Then
You're
I'm
gonna
going to have to perform this.
Yes.
Yeah, I hate
And
that.
what if I can't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are going to find out the truth that I am a failure.
Yeah, and I can very easily spin myself out and end up. I call them closet floor moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the panic attack where I'm on my closet floor like crying because I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do. But I can very easily, talk myself into a closet floor moment.
Yeah.
You know?
I've done
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking a couple of years ago, I shot a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got back from the wedding, I like download all the pictures and I start going through them just to see.
Right.
And like the first 20 pictures are shit.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh my God, everything I took is shit. I fucking failed. Right. And then I found myself on the floor of my studio, fucking panic attack.
Yeah.
Like serious hours of a panic attack.
Yes.
I fucking,
Yes.
and then, my wife comes in and talks me through it.
Yeah.
And she says, go back to them the next day. So the next day, I started looking at the rest of them and I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
these are good. They like live up to what I know I could do. I saw 20 pictures that were shit.
And everything was ruined.
And I said they're shit.
Yeah.
I was just gonna
but
say,
they're probably not shit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
But the
I've seen your work.
perfectionism.
They're not shit. Yeah.
Yeah, perfectionism.
Yeah.
Anyways, that I can totally relate to.
Yeah.
And it still hurts today.
Yeah.
It's off track, but the question came up to me a little while ago, and I wanted to ask before I forget. Do you have any current manifestations right now? Like things like that resentments made me think about it when I asked about resentments towards like one of the biggest things I would struggle with as far as resentments is often I'll find myself resenting myself based off of current behaviors. And I was wondering if there's anything currently that you're not resenting, but just
Right. Not current. There's a common theme that comes, right? And that is food. So he's like, I will find myself, and I have many times found myself in the QT is like a Minute Mart by us, right?
Okay.
And I will
so like a 7-Eleven or something.
intentionally walk in, get a donut, get an ice cream, go to my car, put my phone down, drive to the back of the parking lot, slump down in the seat, just like I'm using. I have found myself in there doing that.
Really?
Like at one point, Joel and I were like doing no sugar, right? And I vividly, this has been a couple years, but so we were doing no sugar, and so I happen to be at Planet Fitness, right? And I'm at the gym, and I'm on the fucking stair stepper. And the thought came to me is I had to go and buy a baby shower gift for Joel's baby mom, right? She was pregnant at the time, and so I got invited to her fucking baby shower. I don't know why. Like we were going to be friends, and I had to go buy a baby shower gift. And so some kind of feeling, right, came up.
Oh, yeah.
I instantly stepped off that stair stepper, walked out of the gym, went directly to the Minute Mart. That's where I was. I was like, maple bar, ice cream, back of the parking lot, slumped down in the car, windows locked. You know what I mean? Everything locked. Using, right? And then I had to like get rid of all the evidence out of the car. And then I was like, oh my God, now I put this in my body, right? Now I gotta throw up. I gotta get it out of my body. And then I was like, I fucking hate to throw up. I can't throw up, right? So now I have to go home and get honest with Joel. And it was just like using, like
Absolutely.
every part of it was just like using. And so I can definitely do that. And I can definitely fucking shop, right? Like I can use a credit card. Joel doesn't know, like this credit card, that credit card, just to fill the hole. I guess
I do the same thing with
the
food.
one thing I do now is when I shop, like I'll buy some shit on Amazon to get that instant gratification. And then I'm like, I don't even really love this 2 days later, and I'll send it back. Like Amazon comes, I go. Amazon comes, I go.
Yeah, I got one step past that. I fill the cart
Oh, okay. Yep.
and then delete it all. Mm-hmm. So that still gives me that rush.
Yep.
but
I do that too.
I'm not destroying the family
I'm like-
bank account.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I have stuff in this cart, and this cart, and this cart. But
Yeah.
what happens is once I do that, then I'll look on Facebook, and Facebook's giving me ads for shit that I've put in the carts, and I'm like, everybody knows. Everybody knows now.
But they can't see your ads. Jolene.
Joel's gonna look at my Facebook. He's gonna know I was looking for this shit. Yeah.
That's so. What about of a fear of some kind that affected the way you interact in relationships?
Today.
Yeah. Do you still have that going on?
I still fear like
I could see how the judgment could and
Yeah.
the transition into the company could affect that.
Yeah. I still fear being judged. I still fear.
You fear that Joel's going to judge you?
Absolutely. Even though, so that's a fear, but it's not a logical fear.
Right.
Because, like, logically, when I think about it, I'm like, Joel loves me unconditionally, right? And you know, but it still comes up, right? It's still a fear, even though I know. So that's when I know my disease is like
internal
active.
dialogue.
Yeah, I know it's active when that shit's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, you know, I have this group of women, and we generally will go do things together, and I'm like, oh, they didn't invite me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's not that they didn't invite me. I was busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, see, I don't have any friends. People don't like me.
So
You know?
but you recognize that that's the addict talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when you have to be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I ask people often when I hear them talk about something like that, I was like, what does reality tell you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'll tell them to do the 2-foot drop.
That too.
Yeah.
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 Your brain is your addict lives in your brain and it's trying to kill you.
Yeah.
If you do the 2-foot drop from your head to your heart, if you really, really think about what's in your heart,
Right.
and because your heart has feelings in it, your heart, your soul, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call that,
Yeah.
your conscience, that's where the feelings live. Your feelings don't live in your brain.
Right.
So in your feelings, you know, and then like sometimes, well, I get from a sponsee, I feel this. Well, that's not a feeling, that's a thought.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
your brain is
Yes.
trying to tell you it's
No,
a
that's
feeling.
brain, Josh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Very
it's
much
so
so, yes.
insidious
Yes.
and devious. So, any other fears that you're thinking of?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one. Is just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fear of judgment.
Fear of judgment. Or for me, fear of judgment and fear of failure.
Yeah.
I still live with that today. Yeah.
So you're not giving me much hope here, Kev, that this is gonna go away.
Even though I still live with it, doesn't mean I act on it. You know?
Right.
It comes up and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Well,
I don't know if that kind of stuff
Bullshit.
ever fully goes away.
Yeah.
it's
don't
how we
know
deal
either.
with it that gets
I
better.
just want
Yeah.
that day to be like, oh,
No.
Yeah.
you know?
That's
I look at it-
that's morphine will do that.
Yeah.
I look at it the same way as a character defect.
Right.
Right? Because the character defect, this is how my old sponsor Steve explained to me early on, is like the character defect lives in our brain,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to have the thought.
Yeah.
Like,
We can't
for
act.
me, if I drive by a Jack in a Box, I'm thinking about 2 breakfast jacks and 2 tacos.
Right.
And then if I go and get those, that's the shortcoming.
Right.
The action is the shortcoming. He said, for the most part, in general, if the thought stays in your brain, the shortcoming has been removed.
Coming up short.
Yeah.
So we
So,
list all
yeah.
our character defects and we ask for the shortcomings to be removed. That's so simple for me that it really fucking helped.
It takes the
Yeah.
guilt and the shame and the pressure out of having a fucked
thoughts.
up way
Yeah.
of thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I thought about, like, how many times would it take for me to punch my uncle in the face to break every bone in his body?
Right. But
And,
you do not do that.
Yeah.
Right?
And this was like, I don't know, 12 years ago.
Right.
Something like that. But it stayed in my head.
Yeah.
And when I talked to Steve about it, he's like, okay, well, we need to work on that. What's the
Right.
resentment? What's going
Yeah.
on? And it turns out it was abuse.
Right.
But the fact he pointed out was you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't act on it. So
Yeah.
the shortcoming was removed.
We're always going to be fucked up,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but
Yeah. I don't know about fucked up, but we're constantly doing the hard work.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, but
Yeah.
do you think the defects honestly will ever go away?
Some for me, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Some of them, but I mean, I still, not that I've done crazy work or have near as much time as you, but there's things that come up where I'm like, it hasn't been there since I got into recovery, and all of a sudden I'll be like, whoa,
Yeah.
where the fuck did that come from?
So what I've learned about
Holy
that
shit.
is when something like that shows up, there's a trauma, a
Yeah.
trigger
Yeah,
that hasn't
for
been
sure.
addressed.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily the character defect.
Yeah.
It's the cause of that character defect.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, I guess, really.
Yeah. It's something to look
And I think
into.
we don't always remember everything.
Sure.
You know what I
Shit,
mean?
no.
I think your brain tries to help protect you to a certain degree.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like you're not ready to deal with that.
Yeah,
You know?
for sure.
Yeah.
You are totally right.
Yeah, you're not ready.
believe that.
It's a current version of the baby stuff getting taken out of the house.
Yeah.
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 It's
good analogy.
yeah. Yeah. For sure. Like it's just now's not the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now's not the time.
Good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What consequences of your past are you still living with today? Sometimes people have to think about this because, like felonies on your record or
Physical ailments.
Yeah, your body's so fucked up, you had to get a lot of work done.
STDs, diseases.
Some people talk about their children,
Yeah.
like living with those consequences.
Yeah.
It sounds like you had to deal with your daughter for a
Yeah.
period
For a period of
because
time.
of your.
Yeah.
But that's
But that's
worked
that's
itself out.
gone now. And I don't have any physical ailments. I just don't. Healthy as a horse.
That's awesome.
Yeah, congrats. It sounds
Yeah.
It sounds like you got out of it pretty clean.
I did. I mean, it could have been okay. Well, I mean, like I don't have all my own teeth in my head. How about that? But other than that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because I just got them all pulled. I got them pulled to get more pills.
I'll sacrifice a tooth for a couple
Just because I
bottles.
don't want to fuck the dentist. Just pull the tooth. No blowjobs for you, sir.
You paid for pills with your teeth.
I did.
It's quite the transaction.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
This is always a favorite.
Okay.
What assets do you have that helps you be of service to others? Or just like what do you...
What are your assets?
Yeah.
What are my assets? let me. I'm trying to think of how to
All right.
like I really have like a servant's heart. You know what I mean? Like I genuinely, when I'm of service, it's genuinely because I want to be of
From the
service.
heart?
Right? Yeah.
Do you like see childhood correlation that it was from being a caretaker?
Probably a part of it, but I think also because I really learned, like I used to do things and then be resentful because I did them, right?
Yeah.
And now like I really do look at my motives, like, and if I don't want to do it, I don't do it.
Good.
I mean, for the most part. Sometimes with Joel, I'm like, you know.
That's kind of a different dynamic.
Yeah, different
You're in a
dynamic. But
partnership there.
but for the most part, it's I do it because I want to do it, because I want to help. But on the other side of that is like sometimes I want to help and people don't want help, and then I'm pissed because you don't want to let me help you. Mm-hmm. You know?
I go through that with my mom.
Yeah, like, why don't you want me to help you? What, I'm not fucking good enough to help you?
Yeah.
Right? You know?
So inside of having a servant's heart, there's a possibility that you could see compassion, unconditional love, understanding, empathy. Like those would be the assets attached to that.
Those,
Okay. Right.
definitely. You know, I think my sense of humor is like that's probably, you know, my sense of humor is probably my favorite asset.
Came to mind for
That's
me.
Yeah. I'm just always.
I'm funny.
I'm funny, and I'm just always a fucking smartass.
You're
and
fucking funny.
I am pretty funny. You know, pretty witty.
Yeah. And believe it or not, like it as quiet as it's kept, your funny is authentic.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I think. That's what makes it even more
so
funny.
Attractive,
it's,
right? As a personality, is
Yeah.
like the authenticity of humor.
Yeah.
Is like, yeah, I want to hang out with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to laugh too. I find it with Sadie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are funny people.
We just
this
have
warms
a good
my
talk,
heart.
and yeah, but I think those are probably my favorite. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm a very giving person though, too. Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you can't take care of everybody.
exactly. I mean, I want to, but you can't. Yeah.
No.
That's a gift in itself, having the desire to want to take care of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen and I are like the same. We want to, just because like her childhood was very much like yours with no emotion. And don't show any emotion, keep quiet, don't talk a lot.
Yeah.
And mine was the opposite. It was chaos and, you know, yelling and violence my entire childhood. We've tried to work where our house is a safe space.
Right.
And so people are attracted to being
They are.
in a safe space.
Yeah.
So that's where the, like an asset would be, is that compassion and empathy. And we want to supply something that we didn't get,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
All right. So that's cool for assets. How are you showing your gratitude for your recovery today?
How am I? Well, I'm showing up, right? Like I go to meetings, I sponsor women, even when I don't want to fucking raise my hand and say I'm willing to sponsor sometimes, you know? I do, right? I do. And like I have a sponsee who doesn't drive, right? And so when we do step work, I go pick her up and I bring her back to my house because her house isn't really the best. She lives in like there's a whole bunch of women there, and you know, women are catty bitches. I include myself in that, as always. I mean, we all are.
Men are just dumb.
I mean, men can be catty too, sometimes. Yeah, but
I'm sure.
Yeah, but yeah, women are. I think it's just human nature. You know what I mean? You just find your group of catty bitches and where you fit in. But you know, and my gratitude, like
sponsorship.
Yep.
You're a caretaker.
I'm a caretaker. I do these, so I'm in a tradition study group, I'm in a living clean study group, you know what I mean, with different groups of women. And I do that not because I really want to like be on a Zoom call twice a week, you know, but because I need to do that because the women in the group need that too. Yeah.
So I would look at that and, or we might look at that and say that's a giving nature.
Yeah. Like, I
So
mean,
you're very giving.
yeah. And how do I show my gratitude is that's it, right? Like I just show up, you know, I show up as the best version of myself and do what I can.
Yeah. That's really at the end of the day, that's all we can all like best version of myself. And then you just make sure you're there.
Yeah. And some days it's not pretty though. You know what I mean? The best version of myself
Doesn't have to be pretty.
It is not,
part.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, the other part of that too is like allowing
That's
people
what makes
in.
it real though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the fact that, you know, we people recognize the fact that it's not always pretty.
Yeah.
I so many times like I am in a shit mood or I've had a shitty day or the week has been very traumatic for me and a sponsee calls me up and starts talking about whatever trauma they're experiencing and I get out of self and then when I get back into self I'm like yeah, you know what? This is not healthy. I'm going to get out of this.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, or for me, it's not really that big a deal.
Right. Yeah.
Like
this is not serving me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is somebody going to die over it? Is somebody going to jail over it? Is it going to matter in 5 minutes? You know what I mean?
A lot of times, I'll be in fear of something going the way, like a way that I don't want it to based off of an attachment or an expectation. And I'll get just a brief reprieve and I'll be able to like, so what if that happens?
Yeah.
And then realize like, oh, whatever.
Like what's the worst that's going to happen?
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that takes all of the fear just as like, it just dissipates. I'm like, fuck, dude. I've been holding on to that for 2 days, dude.
Yeah.
And it was miserable.
Torturing yourself for 2 days.
Fuck.
For basically no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's
we're really
that's
good.
our disease. Like
mountain out of a
let me see
molehill.
if I can get you. Yeah. Oh, things are going really good for you? Let me see if I can get in there and twist that up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had those conversations before. Like
And
things are
sometimes
going
we
really
fall
good
for it,
and I'm
and
waiting for the
sometimes we
shoe to
don't.
drop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So so this is something that's if it's too personal for you, we don't need to share about. Well, we're just curious about your spirituality. What does that look like? I mean, we could talk about it here on the podcast.
Right. I don't have a specific like religion. Like I just
Do you pray?
I do.
What do you pray to?
I pray. Well, I call it God, but it doesn't really have a picture. Like I don't have a picture of it, and you know.
Yeah.
Like when I think of my God, does it look like Jesus? It doesn't have a face and it doesn't have a picture, and it's more like I feel like it's just there, right? Like I pray in my car, I pray in the shower.
Is it an energy? Is it like a
I would
universe
say
kind of thing?
Yeah, it's more like the universe.
I'm curious, you use the word God just like as a placeholder for what that is?
Yeah.
Because it's simple?
Because, I mean, we went to church for a while, and...
what would be another word for it other than God?
Higher power.
Yeah, higher power,
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah, if you're in a conversation with, I guess it's be different for whoever's experience, however somebody's molded, but like if you have a higher power and you're talking to the higher power, do you, instead of saying acknowledging them as God, you acknowledge them as higher power?
Yeah, I mean, I use the word God as a placeholder.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just.
It just seems like
It used to for many or 15 plus years.
Rub you the
I
wrong
wouldn't
way.
say God.
Right.
You know, I was that addict that was anti all of that, right? And then, you know, through the hard work
Right.
that you get to, I got to a point where I'm just like, I don't need to make waves.
No.
I need to smooth this out. And so my, you know, the playing field was just like, I get to believe in what I believe. And if I
Exactly.
want to use the word to describe what I
It's
believe
my
in.
God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like it's my higher power. It's my God. We get to decide who that is.
Exactly.
Or what, you know, what that looks like.
Yeah.
I think
so
I think the
just
word
use
God
that.
is just universally so strongly accepted as the thing that represents whatever that is for us as humans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That like it's like it almost is for me. It feels like feels like a disservice to my God, whatever that thing is, to not use that word out of like almost like respect. It's like
Right.
that is the highest version of what I can describe as with a word, you know?
Yeah. We have a guy in the fellowship that would
For
talk
me.
about his higher power, and he would say something to the effect of, when he's speaking, he say, and the gods that I believe in don't want me to. And I'm like, and knowing the guy a little bit, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, fucking cool. Because I have a picture in my mind of like, you know, believing in Norse mythology,
Right.
or you know, or Greek
What his
mythology.
gods are, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah.
respect for that. Yeah, and I've learned through the tradition work, like we, you know, at meetings we don't
Right.
we don't come out and say Jesus Christ or
No.
where it's frowned
Specify.
upon.
Yeah.
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 It's not
don't-
frowned upon. Is we tend to not share specifics. I think it's in the 11th step of it works how and why. Mm-hmm. It has a paragraph on like why we don't do that.
Why we don't. Yeah. Because we're looking for similarities and not differences.
Yeah, and we don't want people to
Scare
get pushed
somebody away, yeah.
So we ran through all the cards and
Love it.
all the questions. So you know what time it is.
Okay.
This is the story time.
All right. So
Yeah. Have you thought about it?
I have.
If
thought
you have
about
more than one, you can tell those.
it. Okay. I have thought about it. So,
I like that story time.
story time.
Should have a little song that we implant.
Oh, and the button.
yeah.
Yeah. So probably just the craziest stuff is like the insanity, right? From
Yeah.
So some insane things, right? So when I was with my ex-husband, we were at his cousin's house and we were drinking and we were trashed, and we were supposed to stay the night there, right? And I did not want to stay at his cousin's house, and I was like, we have to go. We have to go home right now. I'm leaving regardless, right? And it was a long drive, and he was like, why do we have to leave? Why can't we stay? I said, I'm not sleeping here, right? So then I tell him, we have to go. I told him I sharded. So I had to go home to change my underwear, right?
Again with
Another
the
underwear
Yeah,
story.
with the underwear. So we leave, and I'm driving, right? And I should not have been driving, but I'm driving, and we're fighting. We're fighting all the way down this hill. We're fighting. And so I fucking just pulled the car over on the freeway. I just pull over on the side of the freeway, you know. And I'm telling him to get out of the car. Get the fuck out of the car. And he will not get out of the car. I'm like sideways in the seat, like shoving my feet on him, trying to push him out of the car. And I think, you know, we had beers in the cup holder and beers on the dash. And he wouldn't get out of the car. And so I said, fine. So I got out of the car, right? And then I took the keys and I chucked them.
No.
Like, it's pitch black, side of the freeway. I'm probably 30 miles from home. Pitched the keys, like, out in the middle of this, like, field. And he's like, so he's freaking out. And then
Wait,
he starts,
Does he believe you still have sharded yourself?
I don't know if he does or not, right? But because at this point, we're just
not
fucking
acting
fighting.
like it.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, fucking cops roll up behind us, right? Because they think we're in a domestic, which we were, but, he's like, we're going to fucking jail. We're going to jail now. I go, we're not going to jail. I'm not driving. So the cops are helping us look for the keys, right? They're helping us look for the keys for the longest time. And we didn't find the keys. And so they say, is there anybody you can call, right? So we had to call his dad, right? At, whatever time to come get us and take us home.
Did the cops say anything about the open containers?
They saw it, but they kind of knew who he was. And so neither one of us is driving at this point, right? And so
just like, this is
no keys.
This could be a lot worse. Not that big of a
it could be,
Go
leave
home.
the car here, So we go home, and then we have to go and find keys the next day and go back and get the car all hung over. Well, a week later in the mail, I got keys in the mail from Nathan Hockett at the sheriff's department. So they were helping us look for our keys, and they had the keys.
Oh.
They found the keys because I didn't throw them far enough. But yeah, that was it. And
so they kept the keys the whole time?
They kept the keys.
Wow.
And just
well, they probably might have saved your life.
Yeah,
Put
they
you guys
definitely
on timeout.
Yeah, they definitely did. Definitely did.
You got
Yeah.
put on timeout.
Yeah.
It's like helping somebody find their bag and
Yeah.
they got it in their pocket.
Exactly.
Like, oh, don't know. Let's
I
keep
don't know.
looking.
Exactly.
Fucking
That's
jingle,
exactly
jingle
what
in
I
your
think
pocket.
about every time.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those cops kept your dope?
Yeah, they kept it and helped me look for it.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's a good one.
Fucking cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're smarter than you think.
They are. They are, because they really could have just cuffed us up, and
Yeah.
but they didn't. They just helped us look. It was
But-
a long time too. They had their flashlights out there, and
I just keep thinking that this whole time, your ex is still thinking that you shit
still
your
thinking
pants.
I think I finally told him that I didn't. I just didn't want to stay there.
Yeah.
But
In your underwear.
in my underwear. Yeah,
People
everything with
are gonna
underwear.
remember your podcast episode because
You're gonna be the underwear
girl.
Underwear lady.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I am still the underwear lady though. That's so funny. I'm still really bad about that. I'll buy underwear and I'm like, oh, I hate these, and then I don't wear them. Joel's like, how many pairs of underwear are you gonna buy? I'm like, I don't know. I don't like these ones. Now I gotta buy more. I'm telling him that all the time. I need to buy new underwear. You just bought underwear. I don't like those ones.
Gotta be
It's a
comfortable.
thing.
You gotta be
It's a thing.
comfortable.
No, I get it, but that's
always underwear.
That's fucking funny. I guess
Yeah.
you can't really return them after you've tried
No,
them on.
you can't. No, and they don't let you try them on. So
Yeah, right.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, cool. We really appreciate you. We're being able to set this up.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Being at a convention and all, and taking the
Yeah.
time out.
Yeah.
We really
Good time.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having
The
me.
underwear girl.
The underwear girl. That'll be me now.
All right.
All right.
Well, thanks everybody for
Yeah,
listening.
thanks for listening. I love you guys.
Thank you for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate you being here and being part of this community. Just a quick heads up before we wrap. The people we talk to on this show are just sharing their own personal stories. They do not speak for any specific recovery program or group. It's just their experience, strength, and hope. Well, that's it for now, and please remember that you can follow us on any of your streaming platform that you listen to, and somewhere in there on that streaming platform there is a donate button if you care to help out with our monthly fees that we have to pay to produce each episode, and there's a follow button. There's also somewhere on your streaming platform you can text us and send us a response or email or check-in. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you.